Hello everyone and welcome back to a Gran Turismo time trial video. Apologies, it's a bit late, it's a bit of a longer one and I had to nip into work as well. Right, we're at Le Mans if you haven't already guessed, and we're in that Mazda 787B. Well, in fact, we're in any Group 1 old school car, technically the Group C cars. Racing hard tyres, medium/hard in terms of this one. Medium because it's a big time gap that you can get gold in. Hard because the track limits are really annoying, and around 3 minute 30.6 is the gold estimate that I put right there. If you do enjoy this video, as always, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel. But without further ado, we're going to get into this lap, and we will be fast forwarding parts, of course, where it's pretty boring, and we'll focus on the actual bits that are of interest. Right, we're going to jump into this lap then as we head towards turn number 1. Start wide, come back in, cut a little bit of the inside, and where the curb goes straight right there that I've highlighted, you want to be braking before you get to that point, and you want to brake in a straight line. If you're remotely turning in these 100% braking, it's inefficient braking, and you'll just end up all over the place. So that's what we're going to do right here then, as we go onto the brakes, drop the second gear, cut as much as you can on the inside, but stay on the yellow and blue curbing right there that I'm showing you. If you go off that with 3 wheels, you will invalidate your lap. And the track limits here are very annoying. To continue on through here, I short shift to third gear. That just helps me on exit. It's a little bit slower, but it just helps you in terms of stability. So I highly advise you do that. Side lift there as we go down the hill. And the end of these red bollards on the right hand side is your braking marker for the left-hander. Now, just to clarify here, the red bollards, if you touch them, invalidate your lap. Any objects you hit are going to invalidate your lap. So you are going to have to be careful here. You can see how close I am there. But literally, as that leaves the screen, we're going to hit the brakes and turn in. When I clip the curb on the inside, start accelerating, slight lift as we go through the right, just to avoid the bollards on the inside as we continue towards Tetra Rouge. Now, on the right-hand side there, for Tetra Rouge, you got the tarmac opening up. You can just see the blue there. We have to brake before that gets to the edge of the screen. The reason for this, it's the racing hard tyres. They have hardly any grip at all. Now, you do want to cut a little bit of the inside of the corner and try and open up the corner as much as you can. And that's what I'm trying to do right here. You can lift a little bit, but you have to be on the tarmac before the end of the curb. Otherwise, you're going to invalidate your lap. And trust me, it gets annoying fast. On the left-hand side, at the first chicane, we have these 2 marshals. Now, in the 787B, they are the perfect braking marker. So as they leave the screen, I'm going to hit the brakes, and I'm going to drop all the way to second gear. Other cars that you can use here may be able to brake a bit later, so just keep that in mind. We're going to hit the brakes. We're going to cut all of the inside here, then chuck it left, really cut a lot of the inside, and just be careful on exit. If you go too wide, too early, you may remember that from a previous one, then you're going to invalidate your lap. So just be careful. Don't go too wide, too early. Next chicane then, on the right-hand side, just before the 100 board, we have these trees, okay? And they're very much obvious in terms of their tree trunks. That is your brake marker for this chicane. Once again, you're going to cut extremes here. So as long as you're on the curb, you're absolutely fine. And remember, don't go too wide, too early. And that's what we're doing here. So we drop second gear, over towards the left, then over towards the right. Really cut the inside on the throttle very early in second gear. Get it straight, then full throttle. If you go 100% while you're turning, you're going to spin the wheels and spear off into the barrier. We head towards Mulsanne corner then. On the right-hand side there, you've got the catch fence to effectively protect the marshals on the right side. Perfect brake marker for the Mulsanne corner. I normally use the curb, but the curb is hard to see just due to the daylight. You can see it right there. It's got shadow, light, all sorts over it. So the catch fence there, really good brake marker. Brake in a straight line towards the outside. Stay in second gear. Clip the curb on the inside. Early on the throttle. Notice there, I progressively applied it. It was around 25 to 50%. Stayed at 50% for a little while. Then I went to 100%. Heading down towards Indianapolis then, we're going to turn in and lift. And then just before we get to the end of the curb, we are going to hit the brakes. Now, if you cut too much of Indianapolis, you're going to, well, the corner before Indianapolis, this whole section is Indianapolis, but you're going to get an invalid lap. So just be careful. Remember, there's white lines there, and you can just see them there. If you go over them, you're going to invalidate the lap. So second gear through here then, and you can see there how I applied the throttle. Up to third gear, the middle Gantt sign, so it's the second one along here. You have to brake before that gets to the edge of your screen. I am staying in second gear for Arnage. The reason I don't go to first here is I just find it a bit awkward to go from first back up to second on exit. So I just want to stay in second gear, and that's what I'm going to do here. So I release it, I turn in, again, slowly onto the throttle. Once I'm straight, 100%, and off I go towards the Porsche curves. Now, when you get here, we've got the Goodyear sign on the right-hand side. I'm amazed this is still in, to be honest, bearing in mind Michelin and Gran Turismo, but There we go. The Goodyear sign is your brake marker for this. Now, I stayed in 4th gear. I think I stayed in 4th gear up to this corner. I did earlier on anyway when I tried this. You can stay in 4th gear at this point, but you're going to drop to 3rd gear and turn in. Clip the curb. Around 150 miles an hour, you should be fine. We go up to 4th gear through the left-hander. You are going to need a slight lift to avoid the wall. Then we just lift off and let the car do its thing here. In 3rd gear, letting the car roll, just having the brakes a little bit there, keeping it on the inside. And then the end of the Porsche curves here, the RMC sign, second to last one, as the corner goes straight, you're going to turn left. You can't necessarily see the apex straight away or the curb straight away, but just turn in and hope it's there. And as long as you get 2 wheels on the inside, you should make it round fine. Just be careful on exit though. It's very easy to invalidate your lap. And if you've done 3 minutes of the damn lap, invalidating it at this point is very infuriating. Right, okay, the final 4 chicanes then. So on the right-hand side there, we've got the dark grey into a medium grey, or dark brown into a bit. I have no idea. That colour change right there, you can see it. That's your brake marker. I advise you just drop 1 gear, first of all, for this corner. Okay, so I always go to 3rd gear as I go through here. And then abuse the track limits a little bit, staying on the curbs. Now, just before you get to this next curb, some of you will want to drop to 2nd gear. Some of you will stay in 3rd gear. Now, I still am undecided. I start the lap in 3rd gear, believe it or not. But at the end of this particular lap, I think 2nd gear is better because then you just get more acceleration towards the line. So I highly advise you do that. You are going to struggle with stability on the exit though, so just be careful. As I head towards the line then, that's a 326.5. 324s are definitely possible here. I just got so infuriated with it, I decided to give up at that point. Right, okay, here we go with the pad lap then. So once again, as the curve goes straight, hit the brakes, turn in 2nd gear. We're going to short shift to 3rd gear, abusing track limits where we can by staying on the curbs, and we exit in 3rd gear there for stability reasons. Down the hill then, looking for the last bollard here on the right, we hit the brakes. As we go into the left, clip the curb if you can. There we go. We start to accelerate. Over towards the right, slight lift, and then continue on. Tetra Rouge on the right side. As the tarmac opens up, hit the brakes, turn in. Let the car slowly go through the corner and bolt out of Tetra Rouge and then go down the Mulsanne straight towards the first chicane. Then what we're looking for is those marshals. There they are. Hit the brakes as we look to, well, we want to cut the inside. We didn't quite do it there, which does compromise the next part of the chicane. And it really slows our lap down. So you can see there, because we didn't cut the first part of the chicane, we compromised the second part and it was all a bit dodgy is probably the best way to put it. Into the second chicane, we've done the exact same mistake here. We're trying to pull it back, and that costs us so much time again. Now, it's very easy to cost yourself time on a pad because it's harder to basically get the car's maneuverability, or the car's much harder to maneuver on a pad. So 2nd gear at the Mulsanne corner, hit the curb, start to accelerate. Now, the pad is good for one thing and one thing only, catching slides. And we're going to see that in a second as we get towards Indianapolis then. So as we come into here, we're going to lift off a little bit, and before the end of the curve is when we're going to brake. We brake actually even earlier than that on the pad because we're a bit scared. And notice there, because we broke too early, it meant that we had to coast a little bit. Nothing wrong with that though. As we look for the middle Gantt sign, there it is. 2nd gear, get ready, hard on the brakes, turn in, clip the curb, and we go on the throttle. So, see the wheel spin there we get. That is common there if you don't control the throttle. And of course on a pad it's much harder to do, so you are going to have to get a bit of practice. The Goodyear sign is our turning marker. So we're in 3rd gear at this moment in time. As we go towards the left, we're staying in 3rd gear on the pad for whatever reason, and then we're going to let the car do its fingers here as we go into the right-hander. Notice the amount of rolling we're doing there. It's quite fine to do this. You know, the car doesn't have a huge amount of downforce. You're letting the car carry its speed and do its own thing. The second you put any power down, the front's going to lift and cause you more understeer. The rolling effectively becomes better. So as the colour change on the barrier, there it is. We drop to 3rd gear. We go towards left, then the right. We drop 2nd gear. A bit too early on the pad, I will say that. Notice there we turned in too early then, and that did cost us on the exit. This is still in the 320s, just with a 997, and that should be gold. Hopefully it should be gold. Anyway, we go towards the chase cam lap then. ABS is on weak for those interested. Turn in just before the curve goes straight. Hit the brakes and drop to 2nd gear. Over towards the left, see how much we cut there. And then we're going to short shift to 3rd gear as we continue on out. And abuse the exit there. That curve is very large. Over towards the right side then. Avoiding the bars. We're getting as close as we can. Maximizing the line through this left-hander. Clip the curb, start to accelerate. We're going to lift slightly on the right. There we go as we continue on. As Tetra Rouge opens up here with the tarmac, hit the brakes, turn in, try and cut a bit of the inside, and then run it out wide a little bit. Come back on before the end of the curb, and you should be fine as we head down towards the first chicane. So the marshals there, they're your brake marker, and this is what you're meant to do, not what the pad lap did. So we cut a left, and we cut a lot of, so we cut the right, and then cut a lot of the left, and that gives us a really nice line through the chicane, and we can exit no problemo. Fast-forwarding down to the next chicane then. Looking for the tree trunks. Not very obvious. There they are. Now they're obvious. Hit the brakes, turn in. Again, cut to the left. Over towards the right-hand side. We cut quite a bit there. On the throttle as early as we can. Try and get the car stable. And continue on in third gear then. Let's head down towards Mulsanne Corner, where we're looking for the catch fence on the right-hand side. Where is it? There it is. Hit the brakes. Brake in a straight line all the way to the outside. Release the brakes, turn in, clip the curb, and just be careful on exit here. Very easy to get power oversteer just because you really want to dart out of the corner. I'm actually going quite slow here in comparison to some of my better laps, but it's one of those, you get infuriated by the track limits really quickly. Indianapolis, before the end of the curb then, we hit the brakes, we turn in, clip the curb, start to accelerate 50%, 75, then 100, as we change to third gear. Middle guide sign, hit the brakes, down to second gear, turn towards the right-hander, we clip the curb, and then once again controlling the acceleration in order to make sure that car stays in a straight line, and we continue on to the Porsche curve. So the Goodyear sign there is our brake marker. Third gear as we turn in, try and maintain 130 miles an hour is the goal here. Up to fourth gear, over towards the left, tiny lift if you need it, and then we're going to let the car do its thing here. Let the car roll through these corners as we bring it back. So the RMC sign has to go straight there, turn left, get your two wheels on the inside, then you should make it round. We don't get a track limit penalty, and we can head towards the final chicanes then here at Le Mans. So we're looking on the right side, so the brown into grey, hit the brakes, over towards the left, then the right. Look at the amount of abuse we're doing there. Now we drop to second gear as we go through here. Just be careful on exit. You don't want to ruin your lap on that corner, especially not. And that is the 326.5. I really wanted a 25, I'll be honest with you, but after an hour, I was like, no, forget this. I cannot be bothered with these track limits. They are so annoying. But that's Le Mans in a nutshell in Gran Turismo 7. The track limits are the most annoying thing about the circuit, and I really wish we would solve them because parts of the circuit need more track limits and parts of it need a lot less. It is what it is, though. And if you have enjoyed this one, do give a like and do subscribe to the channel. Stay in touch with all the latest content. Do check out those partners there down in the description if you do shop with any of those. I really do appreciate the help. Two videos there to check out there, including last week's time trial guide if you are struggling with that one to get the 2 million credits. That's going to be it for me, though, folks. A big thank you for watching as always, and I do hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.